Today's guest is a very special one. We have Matt Kalousek, local legend, husband, father of two, and co-owner of Ultra Branded alongside his brother Russell. Since 2005, yes, you heard that correctly, 2005, he's been helping businesses right here in good old Montgomery County, Texas, to level up their branding and marketing to scale and grow. Matt is a solid dude. I've met him a few times now. He shows up, puts in the work, and lives out the level up and live mindset. Let's dive in. Matt, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely, dude. So I'm going to do something new, man. I was on my run this morning and it hit me about 30 minutes in. Typically, I go straight into the questions because that's what our listeners and viewers like. But you are a guest, a part of the mastermind group here in Montgomery County. And you know we like to do the 1-minute intros. So what better way on the podcast to do a 1-minute intro? So would you mind giving that 1-minute intro for us?
Sure. Thanks, buddy. Matt Kalousek here, owner of Ultra Branded. For 20 years, we've been known as Graphic Design FX, and it was a time where, things have changed with marketing, things have changed with businesses, and it was just kind of a fresh new way to get established with the community a little bit more. So we are now Ultra Branded. We do full creative marketing in-house. We specialize in creating brands, logos. We build websites. We do a lot of print material. At the end of the day, once you have your foundation down, we really dive into getting the word out of who you are, using exposure resources, Google and social media and email marketing and retargeting campaigns. We create content. We create video, photography. So we're kind of a one-stop shop for businesses to really pinpoint their goals to reach the potential of the community. And yeah, we really have a fun time doing it. The relationships that we build are probably the most important in what we do. So yeah, we're excited to be a part of the community. And literally next month in May is our official 20 years in business. So yeah, we're really excited for the next 20 years.
Awesome, man. You doing any big celebrations or milestones for that anniversary?
Not yet. I'm looking at some options, so haven't figured that out. But yeah, we stay busy, so trying to find time to focus on that is fun. So we really love helping our customers. So yeah, we'll figure it out though. But yeah, we're excited.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations. That's huge.
Appreciate it.
And that leads into my first question. You've been in business since 2005, so that's going on, you said 20 years. What has been your biggest evolution in that 20 years, 2 decades in how you help clients market and scale? Because I got to meet with you in coffee a few weeks back, and we just dove deep on the psychological behind it and how you help your clients and building those relationships and really asking them the questions and what their goals is. So I'm curious, how are you helping clients market and scale, and how has that evolved?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is people, I don't know why they're scared of marketing. It's really simple. I mean, I base it off of two pieces, one perspective and one the value. So the perspective is how every customer or potential customer or anybody in the game can view the products and services that you offer. So if everybody can understand it, and someone like me that can understand all those perspectives, that has really helped me help them tremendously over the years. Specifically as well value. So how does that customer value your product? It's not just what you want to give them, what makes them see value in who you are and what you offer. So that's really kind of what I do. And what I've done over the years is just break it down as simple as, can everybody understand it? And then the fun part of what we do is we create all of the content that really will help make that product stand out or make that service stand out amongst your competition. So if you just break it down by perspective and how that customer sees the value in it, you can go a long way.
Mm-hmm. So breaking it down, do you have a recent success story where the marketing played a key role in a business growth and a lot of the business owners that you've worked with?
Yeah, so we started working with mid last year a local company. They do custom, real high end custom engraving. Their name is Etch Express. They also have a fulfillment company. So what they do is they work with business owners or individuals, and they personalize products like Yeti cups, or they can engrave on anything. So they can engrave on like guns, they can engrave on leather, they can engrave on plastic or whatever. So they really customize the experience with engraving. So first of last year, um, they didn't really have many marketing tools out there. They had some they had worked with. They had some problems with Google and whatnot. So we came in this year, and in January alone, we surpassed their whole quarterly sales goals from last year in one
Mm.
month. So
Wow.
yeah, that's a pretty good success story. So again, we broke down the product, we gave it some emotion, and we keep learning about trial and error, what works and what doesn't work, and we keep moving in that direction.
Incredible. And so when you're approaching, because what I'm hearing you say is this is all strategic. And when I sat down with you, I was fascinated with your strategic approach of planning 30 days out, 60 days out, and then working backwards and creating campaigns in that given month. And so, how do you approach strategy when helping businesses in this business and that you just shared on the story stand out in a noisy competitive market? Because we all know it is super noisy. It's competitive out there. Every time I pop open my social media and across all platforms, everybody's talking about insurance, real estate, restaurants, you name it. So how do you approach strategy when helping this business owner or business owners stand out in a noisy competitive market?
Yeah, the first approach is consistency. You have to stay consistent with it and never stop. So that's the main focus of it is keep going.
Mm.
The second part is specifically don't be afraid to come out of your comfort box. Don't expect anybody that you're trying to talk to or market to understand your perspective on it, because you're in it so deep that you want to be so specific and so detailed that they will pass by it instantly. So speak in the terms of an everyday person. Don't get too technical, and then just figure out ways to create engagement by something that's off the wall, something that is created visually off the wall. So it's really about, again, staying consistent, being generic across the board with understanding,
Mm.
and then creating something visually appealing to attract their attention.
I like that. And so, one of the things we did a couple weeks ago, our goal is to post every single day, whether it's a post, whether that's a reel on the stories. It's that day trading attention. It's that brand awareness. And a lot of our stuff is organic. And I know a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, or viewers and audience that are listening to this do a lot of organic. Some of them do paid advertising. And we actually did a post. I don't know if you saw this or not on social media. I mean, he was even on the news. 2 weeks ago, our office caught on fire. An Amazon truck blew up underneath
I
the
saw
awning.
that. I was going to ask you about it. I forgot to. That's crazy.
Yeah. So my team was in the office and they had heard the explosion and they immediately
Wow.
had ran out of the office and started videoing and taking pictures. Everybody was okay in the office, but it was pretty bad. It blown out like 7 or 8 different windows, and
Wow.
there's smut all the way up the office, and the Amazon truck completely was just disintegrated. And luckily, fortunately, nobody was injured. And so with the pictures and the video, they had sent them to me. So we wanted to make sure we let our customers know. People were reaching out to us because they saw it on the news if we were okay. And so we had made a post on social media. It got so much engagement. It's been the most engagement post this year in 2025. I'm talking likes, I'm talking shares, I'm talking comments. And what I'm hearing you say is that's tapping into people's emotions,
Hmm.
right? With that. And then obviously in that case, the word copy was, and you can go see it and check it out on the insurance page at Shaw Myers Insurance Services LLC. But on that post, it's not only ties an emotion behind it. We were just wanting to educate our customers because that's what our branding is. But it also said tough day in the office, and everybody's okay. and it showed some pictures behind it. But I think that's authentic and genuine in what I'm hearing you say. When you tie that emotion, whatever industry that you're in, that's where people, they get more involved, whether it's engagement, whether that's sharing, or whether it's relatable, is what I'm hearing you say. And
Yeah,
go ahead.
emotion plays a big piece in it. Like how you can trigger that emotion, either emotion or any emotion really, of
Mm.
like a cute picture of a puppy or a
Yeah,
fire or a relationship story or a review or anything. So that anytime you're able to give an opportunity for people to feel something, that's when they're getting engaged. You know.
mm. And making that relatable. And that's one of the things I know a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs, they struggle with. And so, from your experience, what are some of the branding mistakes you see local business owners that you've worked with in the last couple of decades make? And you see it all the time.
That's a big thing, and I'm extremely specific about that because I see it all the time. I just literally the other day we were driving and there was a sign and it just said massage and it had a phone number
Mm.
and it was a 4x8 sign. And I tell my wife, I was like, "What is the phone number doing?
Mm.
Why can't they use?" Because they took up half of it with massage and half of it with the phone number. And you're driving. You're not going to copy it. You're not going to do anything with it. So why not use that real estate for something specific to the massage? Like, is it relaxing massage, therapeutic massage? We can fix your injury massage or something related to the massage, not just a phone number. Like
Yeah.
you know where you're putting that information. And the other thing is, like I was saying earlier, let's just say an AC company decides to create their own website and they use all the technical terminology and they use everything that they know and they speak in their terms, but not everybody knows what a furnace is.
That's
Not everybody knows what a condenser is.
mm.
Just say heater. Like
Yeah.
just say, mechanical, or, be specific to the everyday person and you'll be fine. Know where the piece is going. Don't put a QR code on a billboard because no one's going to drive by and randomly scan the QR code while they're driving. Put something on there that they're going to remember. And that, because again, know your area, know your audience, know what they're doing when they see it. And also, let's just say you sold tires, but it was ABC Automotive. How does that, other than automotive, how do they actually know that you just sell tires? Or ABC services, how do
Mm.
they know that you consult in the healthcare industry?
Yeah.
Like, be specific. Like I see it all the time with,
Mm.
like a plumber. It may be like
Mm.
Wiggins or Wilkins or something services or so and so mechanical. I'm like, well, no one knows that means AC.
Mm.
No, you can't read. Like, plumbing is so small. So put the piece out there that you are trying to sell and be clear and specific in conjunction with the name. So that's what we really work on, is
Mm.
bringing out specifics so that everybody can understand it and read it clear, because they have milliseconds to understand it when they're seeing it.
Man, that's absolutely brilliant wisdom right there. And that's over 20 years of experience in you sharing that. And so, with that and what you just said, what a lot of people don't understand is, I'm just going to throw it out there and hope it sticks, whether it's billboard, social media posts, and myself included. I've struggled with this over the years, and I call it brand awareness, self-awareness, but I'm really not putting that strategic approach, tying that emotion behind it like what you're saying. And this is why I'm really excited about this episode, because more importantly, psychologically, why do you think we know that? Like, let's just on the billboard or the social media post or the story, but why do you think business owners don't do that?
So I believe it's kind of so everybody wants to sound smart in their field. They
Mm.
want to give you all the information that they know to feel legitimate, but they don't understand that the person that, like, if an AC guy is talking to a wife, maybe she may not really understand anything he's saying. It's like, simplify it for me. Even though he was being super specific, very helpful, very, explaining the problem extremely clear in his eyes, but he doesn't know her perspective that she's even understanding it. So she may say, I have no idea what you're saying. So people try to sound smart. They try to overcomplicate and put too much out there. Like, the point of a business card, the point of a flyer, the point is of a website is to get them to call you. You don't need to explain everything on there.
Hmm.
Yeah, education through marketing and doing posts and doing, the social media side of it. You can do that slowly and be specific so that you can start to educate them. But at the end of the day, clean and clear, and where an 8 or a 10-year-old can understand it is really what I try to tell people. Like, be clear.
That's great advice. That is absolute great advice. Let's do a quick little role play. You're meeting with me. I call you up. I email your team. I say, Matt, I'm struggling. I'm a plumber here locally in Montgomery County. I've been in business for 12 months and I'm going through challenging times, man. I'm struggling to bring in leads. So we meet up at the coffee shop. You start asking me some questions. And what you find out is that in the last month, I have only serviced 5 clients in the last month. And I haven't started a Google My Business page for organic growth. And you start asking these questions, and you start finding the things that I'm doing and I'm not doing. What would be, to that business owner, what would be one piece of advice that you would leave him with, knowing that information, that he hasn't done a Google My Business? He's serviced 5 clients. He's been in business all over 12 months. He's struggling to bring in leads. What is one or even 2 tips for that plumber to go out and market and advertise himself to start bringing in more leads?
So the first thing is to get Google set up. Get your Google My Business page set up to where you can start accepting reviews. Go back to every one of your customers that you've done work for and ask them to go ahead and put a review out there for you, because reviews are everything, like huge. The second thing is get a part of any local networking group, join the Chamber of Commerce, be in front of people. Because if you're in front of people, you can talk to them. They can see the logo on your shirt or your hat. You can ask them how you can help them. And it's just being out there. And that's probably the 2 most cost-effective ways is reviews. And then also one third thing is local neighborhood Facebook groups are gigantic. So ask your customers to post about you and their groups, and then as many local groups that you can be a part of, and post your information. Look very hard every day, all the time, for people that are asking for your services. Be very prompt with your responses, phone calls, and time of service, and be straightforward with them. So those are 3 things that don't really cost any money at all. So
yeah, it's all free, right?
yeah, it's your time and your effort, which that's what you have to do. And honestly, that's a big piece of working with these businesses is over 20 years. The piece that I've seen to make a successful business is, number 1, stay in the community, and number 2, stay on top of your customers, answering them, give them professional service 100%.
Yeah. Man, I think that's great advice. And I couldn't agree with you more on the organic growth, for somebody, especially a new business owner that doesn't have maybe the income or the capital to start pouring into paid advertising or even pay a marketing agency. And what I'm hearing you also say is consistently, you said it early in the episode, consistently doing that. I think that's the biggest difference and separator is from people like you that have been in business for 20 years. I've been in business for 10 years. You've been in business for a decade longer than me. So you understand that resilience and that endurance behind that. And people that I've worked with, and I've worked with a lot of business owners, and I know you've connected with a lot of them as well, is they don't consistently show up. They get fatigued, they get exhausted, and everything that you just said, man, is you hit the nail right on the head. And then also plugging yourself into the community is what I'm also hearing you as well. And so it's basically just taking action versus expecting the phone to ring, expecting you get the text message and the email. You've actually got to go out there and put yourself out there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's, I see so many people, they just wait. They just open the door and wait. I'm like, how do they know you're here?
Yeah.
How do they know what you offer? Be a part of where you are, because that's what people want, especially in this day and age with corporate and big franchises and all that stuff. Everybody wants to support local, so staying out in the local community is your best answer for that.
Mm.
Because people love helping as well. So if they know you and they like you, they'll help you.
Yeah. And so if somebody's listening to that and you're like, yeah, but man, I'm an introvert, Matt, and I don't want to get out in the community. I don't want to meet and shake hands. I don't know how to do this and set up my Google My Business page. What would you tell that person?
Google My Business. There's tutorials. It's very easy. Find someone that you know that can help you set it up. I am somewhat of an introvert. I don't like going out into public, but take somebody with you.
Yeah.
Like go out, 'cause then you're not just standing there. And I'm 6'5" and I really stand out. So I'm an introvert and I'm tall. So it's taken me a long time to be comfortable in situations like that. So take someone with you and have fun with it. Or if you know someone at the event, that's always good. Just hang out and be casual about it. This is not, you don't have to. It's not like you're talking in front of 100 people. Just go and have fun and ask people, just like if you were to talk to them anywhere. So just have fun with it, and
Mm.
you know supporting, even getting in touch with like a charity. You're already helping, meeting people, that sort of thing. So yeah, there's lots of ways to do it. And I've had to learn that over a long time.
Did you ever find yourself in your 20 years of building Ultra Branded with your brother in partnership? Did you ever find yourself being isolated, not surrounding yourself with other like-minded individuals or evolving? Was there ever a time in that 20 years where you picked your head up and go, holy smokes, I haven't plugged myself into a business development course or got a part of a mastermind group or surrounded myself with others to have these conversations? Were you ever in isolation?
Yeah, I mean, I did it for 19 years. Getting in touch with
Wow.
our other group that we're and in touch with you, like it's real. Like, and especially like you get busy. You work hard, but just being a part of it and growing, it's exponential to be
Mhm.
a part of the community and groups and like-minded people. So, I'm just scratching the surface with it. Even after as long as I've been in business, it's pretty fantastic, honestly.
What would you say the catalyst is? So you said 19 years you were just head down doing things with your business partner, your brother. For 19 years you're in isolation. So here in the last 12 to 24 months, you came out of isolation. What was that catalyst that you had to go through to say, you know what, enough's enough?
It just, last year with the economy, a lot of businesses had a hard time. Cost is a big thing. Change of employment was a big thing. So we had a lot of change in business and whatnot. And it really just kind of opened my eyes to how I can help them even more than I was. So it kind of really got me to work together with like-minded people to add value to what we do, because the services and the products that we were offering were working good, but how else can I help them?
Mm-hmm.
They were going through hard times, and what else can I do? So that's where I joined some groups and wanted to add more value to the products and services that we were offering, and kind of work with the times. So that's at the end of the day what kind of made me decide to branch out and be a part of the community more, to just how I can get connected with more people that can help my customers.
I love that. And then also, do you feel like that's a sense of fulfillment too, because you're plugging yourself in by also getting perspective from these other business owners, but also
Mhm.
serving and impacting and providing value to other people?
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
Mm,
it's a win-win for everybody at the end of the day.
mm,
And we went through that with COVID. Everything changed instantly. All of the planning that we had done, like, completely was irrelevant. So we had to change processes. We had to, create new ways for these businesses to reach their audience and create packages. And, we work in the hospitality world. So especially with food, that was restaurants closed down, so we, created, catering packs and family packs and ways to do curbside pickup and all those tools and whatnot. So we conformed to the times that were happening and helped our people create the tools that they needed. So, at the end of the day, it's just how you shift, how you add value, how you help your customers and create that relationship.
Wow, man. Dude, I don't typically say this a lot on the episode, but anytime I talk to somebody that continues to show up like you have in these different groups, show up on the podcast, do the things that you say you're going to do, and then look at your credibility and your authority and your track record of building a business for 20 years, mad respect, brother. So
Appreciate it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I know.
It's crazy to think it's been that long, but yeah, it's been fun. So times change a lot, and especially with marketing, you got to always stay on top of it. And that's what our goal is, to always provide the best product and keep adding value like we're talking about.
Yeah, it seems like it's definitely evolving and definitely speeding up with AI and marketing. Do you want to tap into that a little bit and share your thoughts on how you're incorporating, or if you're incorporating yet, AI? And are you helping your clients with that?
So AI is interesting. The people that can do it themselves, it has great tools. We use AI and as a tool. We don't use it as, okay, we don't have to do that anymore. Like, we're still needing to make sure that it's specific and personable. Because also Google knows what AI content is. So when you post that, they'll know, and they won't access it and record it as good as you would want from fresh content. So, the tools and the systems and the platforms, organizational, time management, those types of tools are really what can be utilized well, formatting purposes, and whatnot, but still creating something from your mind that is going to create that feeling. That's where it comes in, because AI cannot, the AI does not know how to feel something
Emotion,
or know
feelings.
what's going to work more. And it's weird because I'll play with it at times and I'll try to see what it can come up with, but it still stays so generic. I can't get across what I'm trying to get it to do. So that's, there is a limit to AI and, making it work. It has great ideas.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still got to make sure that it's going to tap into that emotion, and it's still, okay, this does still make sense, and this is how I'm going to change it from that idea that I may have gotten from it.
Right. And we're just scraping the surface with AI, but it's definitely, if you're a business owner and you're listening to this, and like you said, it's definitely worth being aware and tapping into it and educating yourself on it. I'm part of a group in the insurance industry, because I own an insurance agency here locally in Conroe. And in this group I've been a part of for the last few years, there is a gentleman in there that leads the group, and he loves building AI automation tools. He did a video on, and this is in the insurance industry. He did a video on this the other day where he was the insurance agent or a customer calling in to an insurance agent's office, and he was having a full-blown conversation with a AI customer service representative. And he would sit there and, hey, this is so-and-so. I'm trying to get a quote on homeowners insurance. I need help. No problem. Mr. Guadalajara, I get you taken care of. And he's having a full-blown conversation. And she's asking, well, how's your day going? All these other, I'm like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
And he breaks it down in this video that, there's still some lag. There's still some, pauses and stuff like that. And it's not perfect, but still, we're just scraping the surface there.
Mm-hmm.
Think about 5-10 years from now.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm kind of on the fence about it, but yeah, it should be fun. But yeah.
I was listening to the Gary V podcast the other day, and he was talking about people, him being on the fence, or he says, how do you feel about people being on the fence? And I ask myself that all the time, because there's some skepticism, right? There's some pessimistic and optimism. And so Gary Vee said, well, that's interesting. He's like, let's break it down the last 40, 50 years. Look at the .com era. Look at the crypto era. Look at the NFT era. Look at the AI era. All these had eventually come through. People, the web 3.0. So all these different eras of life where people were skepticism, as you should, but then there's the early adopters, there's the adopters, and there's the late adopters. And so I'm like, what do I need to do to be on the early adopters, to make sure? So it's definitely worth noting. But dude, so we got a couple questions from our members, and I'm sure you saw that yesterday on the message, but I'm going to go ahead and ask one right now, and then I'll ask the other question towards the end of the episode. The first question aligns with exactly what we're talking about. There's a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs that struggle with lead sources relating to kind of what I shared earlier in these new business owners, first 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, they don't know where they're getting their lead sources from. They don't know where to spend their time, energy, and effort with it. So what would you say, our question from one of our members and listeners is, what are your top 3 methods, also known as lead sources, to driving in sales for your business?
So there's not one answer for everybody. There's not 3 answers for everybody. Every business is different. And when we partner up with businesses, our goal is to figure that out. So there is a lot of trial and error. But at the end of the day, say you're a service company, usually people are needing it. So AC, plumbing, electrical, or whatever, and they're going to go try to find it. Well, where do people go try to find it? Is Google. So being relevant on Google, doing Google ads, doing lead generation campaigns, getting them to the right spot, creating those landing pages, getting them opted in and to the form or to the phone number as quick as possible is the first goal. If you're more geographic and you want to be known by where you are, doing Google Map ads is great because, when people search for food or they search for, let's just say a tire store or whatnot, being on top of that list is important on Google. And then on the other side, social media is like the salesman. So, hi, I am so-and-so. This is what I offer. Breaking that down, talking about reviews, talking about your services, talking about showing videos, showing photos, showing promotions, creating new content. So the social media side is more extremely consistent, where you have to stay in front of them, educate them as if they're knocking on the door. So you're going to have to do that a lot more often, which is okay.
Yeah.
But that whole drive by the billboard every day is similar to the social media aspects of it. So you can do ads on social media. Anytime that you pay for ads on Google or social media, that's guaranteed to be in front of someone's face. So that's considered advertising. So paying for that is crucial to the speed at which you want the leads to come in. Like we've been talking about the organic side, creating slow content on your site, writing articles, doing Google reviews. That is a slower process because the more content that you put out there, Google reads it and keeps reading it, but it's not guaranteeing that it's in front of anybody. So doing paid ads is crucial, but really in the stream of everything, creating content on social media, doing Google, staying in front of the community, doing all these pieces is really the perfect scenario. So it's a little bit everywhere. And over time, you will learn which avenues and which platforms work better for you. So we'll keep going in that direction and keep perfecting it.
Yeah.
So that's the real answer.
I agree. That is a 20-year expert answer right there.
Yeah.
You nailed it, man. And I couldn't agree with you more. And that's simply pretty much what we've been doing for the last 10 years. And I know a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs and high achievers, they struggle. Some do, some don't. They struggle with putting themselves out there on social media, stories, reels, just organic. What would you tell somebody, a business owner that's like, I don't want to put myself on video, Matt, or I don't want to I don't want to go and post on story. I don't know what to say, or I don't have any ideas. What would you tell that new business owner 12, 18, 24 months in to help to start bringing that brand awareness for their community and the people around them? Any suggestions there?
Yeah, I mean, if you're working with someone like me, we can help you and guide you and create those talking points and practice with you. If you don't work with a marketing company, just look at other like businesses and see what they're doing. Any content that you put out there, even if you're not a good talker, it's not bad because people will connect with you no matter what.
That's right.
So you don't have to have it so perfectly polished and shaped and everything. And really, when we're working with our customers, it's a great balance to have the professional content that we create and that raw content that they can do.
Mm.
So it's a good mix. So at the end of the day, anything that you do with your face is going to be effective as far as connecting with your customers.
I think that's brilliant. I think if you have that mindset where you just, like you said, maybe it's not video, but maybe you go and make a post and it's word copy and you just say a few sentences like, "Hi, my name is Matt. I help business owners increase their profits through marketing and branding." And super simple, and a picture of you shaking a hand, that's easy to do. But it's consistently doing that over and over. So you stay in front of that, stay in
Yeah, I
front of
mean,
your
you do it.
customers.
You have yourself in all your posts, and you have your guest with you, and
Yeah.
faces work, people work. So no matter what your product is, put yourself in it.
Yeah. I like that, man. Shifting gears a little bit, we've been talking pretty much the entire time on marketing, but I wanted to do that. That was for purpose because I know our business owners will appreciate that, especially with your brilliant mind. But outside of that, what role, because I want to talk mentorship, masterminds, because I know that's been a big part of your life. What role has mentorship, masterminds, or just business friendships that you've built these last few years and over the years played in your growth in helping Ultra Branded and even in your personal life as well?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the relationships that I create are the most important thing to me and to the business, because if we're not on the same wavelength, if we don't have a comfortable environment to talk, if we're not honest with each other, no matter what, it's not going to work as well as you need it to.
Mm.
So, and that's what I tell my customers in the beginning. I was like, be as honest as possible. You're not going to offend me. We're only going to be able to solve that problem or take that other direction or do whatever we need to do. But for myself, the selfish reasons is I get to create these relationships with these business owners and really help them and really understand their goals and have a lot of fun doing it. And, most all my customers, we go have lunch, we hang out, we talk, we have a lot of fun. So, I'm lucky enough after 20 years to be picky in that way, because at the end of the day, the work is very important to us, but also the relationships and the connections that we make are, bar none, end all be all what we want.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, and that's something I've realized here in my 30s is I didn't understand that because I was kind of like you the first 19 years, isolations, doing it my own, and I was very similar. And to a certain degree, you wear all these hats, you go through these struggles and trials and tribulations, and you think nobody else is going through this, right? But it was a wake up call for me because I'm like, oh, there's other business owners that have been where I want to go, and so that just speeds up that process. And it's everything that what you just said. It's relationships. And so if you can build those relationships, which do take time with these other business owners in these different environments, then it's iron sharpens iron. It only speeds up the process. And that's what I'm hearing you say.
100%.
That's awesome, man. When you feel stuck, because a lot of times you know this, and I know this has happened over the last 20 years, and we all have been here. Some going through this right now, listening to this. When you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or unmotivated, you lack that, maybe it's fatigued, or you feel like you're a cog in the wheel rat race. You're doing the same thing over and over. How do you pull yourself out of it and realign?
That's a good point because, I'm a designer. I'm a graphic designer, so it happens, being fatigued, being, in a rut or whatnot. Just change gears, go do something else, go completely out of what the situation that you're in. If you're, stuck in the house all day or in the office all day and you're working and you're stuck, go do something else. Go outside, go meet a business, go sit at a restaurant and do some work, change your environment, because that's probably what it is the bubble that you're in. So get out of the bubble,
Yes.
do something else, yeah, wearing a lot of hats as a business owner, I may get stuck at some point. It's like, all right, well, let's go put on another hat, find the one that you want to, have a little fun with and do that. So it's like, just don't try so hard to keep going in that same direction, because you could pick it up later or tomorrow.
Mm.
Like, go do something else.
Man,
So just get out of it.
That's excellent advice. I call it shocking the system. So doing something, getting comfortable, getting uncomfortable, shocking the system, doing something completely out of the norm. And that's what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. You don't have
Yeah.
to. You're not. There's nothing bad.
Right.
as an employee, she was going through that recently, and she's like, yeah, I just felt like, it was in this corporate work environment, and I wasn't gonna, I thought I was gonna get in trouble, or I thought I was gonna be, not looked at positively. It's like, it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I told her, it's like, if I had given you a shovel and I said, dig this hole, you're not going to dig that hole the same speed the whole day.
That's
You're
right.
going to take a break. You
Yes.
may really get at it sometimes, or you may go start on another hole,
Mhm.
or, whatnot. I mean, it may fill up with water. You got to get the water out. Like, things change, roll with the flow.
Mhm.
You don't have to be 110% 100% of the time.
Mm.
No one's like that. So
Yeah.
again, being able to communicate that with who you're working with is very crucial, because people understand,
Mhm.
and we can help and all work together. So yeah, I mean, it's very important to change lanes, change gears, get out of it, and go do something else.
I just made a post about that yesterday, how, because I'm one of those individuals, and it sounds like the lady that works for you is very similar. It's like always on the go, 110%, and it's just not sustainable. And
Hmm.
so you've got to shift gears, is what I'm hearing you say, in these different environments, whether it's at home, in your business, talking to an employee, on the podcast, whatever environment that you're in, you shift gears. And I think that comes back to emotional intelligence and then also self awareness as well. And so,
Yeah, I mean, it pertains to the house as well. You can be a business owner and work all day at the office and grind, and then you're on the phone all the way home, and you pull in the driveway and you hang up, and then you're like, I have to go do my personal life now. Like, sit there for 10, 15 minutes and just think about, because the family, in that sense, it's always what's left.
yeah,
So
yeah,
prepare yourself for, you got to give just as much to your family as you are to work. It's more.
mm,
You got to really pinpoint how you've been exhausted all day and you're tired and you're coming home. Like, you still need to be positive. Why does your family deserve,
yeah.
the negativity or the
Mm.
exhaustion? So you got to prepare yourself for that before and get ready. So that's a big piece of business ownership, is balancing life and work.
Man, and I think that's so overlooked. And everything that you just said is perfectly executed, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're not leading in your home, then I know you're not probably leading in your business. And so both are correlated. It's like how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're going to show up for your employees and your team and your community and the classes that you're in, you better show up for your as a leader in your home.
Yeah.
And we didn't even get a chance to talk about family and leadership because we're out of time, man.
Yeah, no worries. We're good.
But we man, and I don't normally say this typically on the podcast either, because there's been so many opportunities for awesome guests that's come on, but man, I'd love to have you on a second time. I'm sure we can dive deeper on some of these other areas of life for a
Sure.
second episode. So,
Let's do it. Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
yeah, no doubt, man. One final question for that are community and how we can impact you, man, as we wrap things up, because we want to give back, we want to serve, and we want to help you. You've been nothing but super valuable today in your tips, advice, your experiences, your skill sets. So we really appreciate you being on the show today. Grateful for you, Matt.
Thanks, man. I appreciate everything.
Absolutely, brother. How can our community and our tribe, man, how can we help you out, and our audience?
Reach out. Let's just have a conversation. If marketing is something that you've been struggling with, let me know. I mean, again, there's no hard, there's no hurt to have a conversation and just see
Yeah.
where it could go, and see where I can maybe help you in little areas, or take everything off your plate marketing wise and whatnot. You can go to our website at ultrabranded.com and fill out the form, or give us a call, and yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Sweet, man. We'll have that link in the show notes as well for easy access. So y'all go check out, follow Matt. He's doing big things, making things happen, plugging himself into the community. Matt, thanks again. Guys, if you got value from this episode, and I know you did, make sure you subscribe, leave us a review. Why leave us a review? Because this is how we serve and impact more people. We do not do paid advertising. So Leave us a review. It'd be greatly appreciated. What's our 1-star, 5-star? Let us know what you take away from the show, and share this with another business owner in Montgomery County who needs to hear it. This is how we grow the Level Up Live movement. And don't forget to follow Matt at Ultra Branded, whether you need help scaling your brand or just want to surround yourself with people who are doing life and business the right way. He's your guy. Matt, thanks again, brother. Level up and live, brother.
Appreciate it. Have a
All
good
right,
one.